Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a really cool disc from the Boston Modern Orchestra project featuring the music of Paul Moravec, who's a really good American composer who does all kinds of nifty things. And here we have four, count 'em, orchestral works. He was born in 1957. He's a little older than I am, but very little. And we've got first the suite from The Shining called the Overlook Hotel. That's where The Shining happens, at the Overlook Hotel. You know that, right? And you know The Shining from the film. Well, this is an opera on the same story, and Moravec has made, pardon me, I don't know whether he pronounces it Czechy or not. I don't really care. But we've got the suite from the opera, and it's actually a very simple piece, believe it or not. It's about 15 minutes long in one big chunk, and it consists of spooky music, haunting music, scary horror movie music, pulling out all the stops, all the bells and whistles of modern orchestral technique to make spooky, creepy music. And it's interspersed with 1920s and 30s party music, dance music, ballroom music, jazz and flappers and things like that. And, also somewhat fuzzy and haunted. And it's really cool. It makes for 15 minutes of extraordinary fun. The horrifying stuff is horrifying. The dance music is dancey and also kind of horrifying in its context and the way that Moravec has it warped and twisted. It's just enjoyable. A really enjoyable piece. Next on the disc is Scorpio Dances. This is another 15 fun-filled minutes. It begins somewhat quickly and winds down as it goes, which is a little unusual. You don't expect a dance piece to become gentler or quieter because it ends quietly. But it's catchy. It's really catchy, and it's well sustained. In other words, it doesn't get draggy and droopy until the very end, so that you get to that point, and then it seems all rather natural. It's almost a quasi-minimalist piece. It has that, constant rhythmic action moving through it, but it's very, very enjoyable. So that was fun. And then we have a wonderful work, which he calls Serenade. Now, the Serenade is based on his impression. It's a large work in 4 movements for chamber orchestra. The Shining uses a big full orchestra. Everything else here is chamber orchestra stuff. Let's see. We've got the movements are marked Ascent, Capital Unknowns, Capital Critters, and Capital Unknowns Part 2. The capital in question is the New York State Capitol in Albany. And in the New York State Capitol building, the rotunda, whatever they call it, there is a staircase. And the staircase has portraits, shapes, critters carved into it. Most of them are anonymous. Most of them are unknown. And it's a very interesting sculptural entity that inspired Moravec to do this Serenade, which was his reflection on the images and faces that he saw. You don't have to know what the images are. It doesn't help. It is just a highly varied, enjoyable, and colorful piece of music, which I really think is a serious piece that ought to get performed frequently by chamber orchestras. Are you listening, chamber orchestra people? It's really, really fun. So there's that. And then there's the last work here, which is the latest. Oh, it's the second latest. No, it's not even. It's the second earliest, pardon me, from 2008. The Shining is 2016. Scorpio Dances is 2019. The Serenade's 2004. And this is called Brandenburg Gate. Well, we all know where that is, right? It's in Berlin. And Moravec was inspired by the fall of the Berlin Wall, which happened back in 1989, but it took him a while. And he wrote a piece that is obviously Bach-like. It's kind of an update of Stravinsky's Dumbarton Oaks, if you want to think of it that way. It's a Brandenburg concerto. It's a concerto grosso. And it's written for, a solo violin, a flute, a clarinet, doubling on bass clarinet, and a trumpet, which is really more or less the second Brandenburg concerto, because that's the trumpet concerto. And it's 3 movements, standard concerto fare, obviously modernized, but busy and contrapuntal and a lot of fun, I would think, for the various instruments to play. The performances here with the Boston Modern Orchestra Project under Gil Rose are, as usual, they're almost invariably wonderful, and this is terrific. You've got this nice cover with creepy, dancey people from the period of The Shining. There it is. And I like this. It's a wonderful collection of orchestral music by a highly eclectic and talented composer with quite a bit to say, I think. So if you're interested in contemporary American music, the good stuff, and you want to hear a composer of some range and imagination, get this and give it a listen. I think you'll have fun with it. I really do. I did. I thought it was enormous fun. I've listened to it 4 or 5 times now so far, both in, like a room in my house and on the train with my earbuds. And it's really been fun. And in the car with the guy who drives me back and forth to work, my friend Ali. We've had a good time with it. And I think that I will continue to have a good time with it. And so should you. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care.